All right, guys, what's going on? This is your boy Ted again for another side chat. So, I'm gonna introduce some people to the show, but hope you guys are doing well. It's Friday. Hope everything is good. You had a good weekend. A week. Getting ready for the weekend. It's the payday. Hope you guys get a good pay. But today's side chat, we're gonna talk about some stuff. But I'm gonna introduce some people in here, of course. Ken, how you doing?
You know me, man. Always a good day. Don't really complain. I'm chilling.
Yeah, okay. And tonight, of course, I'm gonna have a lovely young lady to join us tonight in our chat. So I'm gonna put on the main camera, this live in studio. So I have Lena with me. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So it's new stuff we're talking about. So tonight topic, and if anything else pop off, we know, of course. So again, thank you, Facebook, Tempo FM, YouTube, and of course Twitch. Let me go to the.
Don't thank Facebook. Thank the people on Facebook.
You finally reached it. You finally reached in. I got you. I see you finally reached in. That's what we're for. How you doing, Anderson?
Usual.
Usual. You working tonight?
Yeah, but not now.
Okay. So you could join into our chat and stuff like that. Okay. So we're gonna talk about. I got another topic in a way, Doc, to talk about as well too. So we could talk about stuff. But tonight, like I said, we want to talk about Nick Cannon, his messy life, and.
Why you came in going, "Hey, why I gotta be a messy life? Why couldn't we just say Nick Cannon's life and the mess he's made as of late?"
Yeah, you can
or
say
the mess that is Nick Cannon.
Wait, man. Look, there. A lot of men will say ain't nothing wrong with spreading a little jizz.
Really. Oh my god.
It sounds kind of gross.
Yeah.
I know.
I got one more. The jizz is up.
God. What I gotta do? I put up with you.
Doc, I'm not one to say don't spread the love, but in this case, it's going to lead to a spread of bullets.
Oh my goodness. Y'all are wrong. You really are.
To a spread of bullets.
Oh man, I'm sorry, man. Just had to do it.
I got you, man. I got you. I totally understand. But I'm gonna have the.
Sorry we're on full blast, but someone should probably cap Nick Cannon's cannon.
That's a good one.
Okay. Can't argue with that one.
Boy.
So basically, let's get into something. So first, basically, we already know he had what? He has two twins. Was it twins with Barker?
Yeah,
I think so. Twins.
Yeah, it was twins. And then the divorce, things, whatever. But in the last 6 months, he has had 4 children by 4 different women, all of them Instagram models.
Now the girlfriend he had, I think, that followed his divorce, they had, I think, a relationship.
Oh, they did?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They had a child that's older than these last group of clusters.
The last 3 kids.
And then
Yeah, but I remember they said he had his 4 kids in 6 months.
yeah, she had another baby.
Oh.
So he has 2 with her, and then that's when the domino effect just kept going.
Wow.
And the overlap. That's where the big messiness comes in at. Because, these women were sometimes pregnant at the same time.
Look, won't he just go ahead and admit that he's just a black version of Michael Douglas? You're an info. It's okay. It's all right.
Oh my goodness. That is crazy.
It'd be all right if he wrapped it up, but he ain't.
No, but my thing is, at the end of the day, look, man, you can give this lame reason of spreading your legacy. Look, as I stated before we got started, man, my perception, no one has to agree. I'm not saying that a legacy has to be tied to a genius or supremely influential person of society, someone that's won a Nobel Prize or changed the way we live. I'm not saying that only the likes of Jeff Bezos or Einstein deserve to have earned the right to do what he's doing. But I am saying, they said to me, I'm not a big follower of any celebrity, but just what I know.
I use this better.
Um,
The chat.
as stated, his shows, okay. His comedy, it's okay. I'm not saying it's bad. I wouldn't say it's great either. Music, it's okay. And pretty much almost everything he did is mediocre to above average at best. To me. Now, I'm thinking, where do you get off thinking that you are the individual that should quote unquote spread your legacy around the world? I'm
Uh,
I'm not saying you have to. As I said, as I prefaced it, you don't have to be one of these elite individuals that we hear about that have made monumental changes in the world we live in today. But I am saying, what are you contributing besides, you know, your sperm count? I need to know.
Right. I agree. I think the term legacy is a dangerous term for him to even be using. I mean, multiple children by multiple women, the calculated way that he's going about it. Like I was telling Travis the other day, by the time these kids are 15 and 16 years old, they'll probably be
In
publishing
prison.
stuff. Yeah, that or bashing him in the media because they hadn't seen him in 10, 11 months. I mean, I don't see the logic behind it. Like to do that knowing full well that you can't be present in these children's lives, and it's just very destructive.
Well,
That's
well,
what I
under,
think.
my understanding of the logic is just like in nature, breed as much as you can and hope that one of them survives.
But
but
but see, okay, I get that logic when it come when as it relates to, should I say, lower beings. And by lower beings, I mean, for example, anyone would tell you that the difference between us and an animal in nature is our ability to reason more so than most animals.
Oh, that's
Now,
gone.
but weird. That's a whole podcast. We get to that later. Okay, I agree with you. We're moving on. So, like for us, like for example, very few animals in nature can just choose to breed anytime they want. There is a season, and it must be earned more times than not.
True.
Yeah, that we humans are the only ones that can just we just do it willy nilly, and there's really no requirement. There's nothing. Okay, but as she just said, the term legacy, no. And on top of that, wouldn't it be better? We all know the saying, quality over quantity. Wouldn't it be
Yes.
better if you focused on being a dad and present in the lives of a few than
Yes.
not being present in the lives of many?
Exactly. Exactly. That was
I
my
don't
whole
think
stance.
I don't think he actually wants to put that much effort into it. He'll do the deed, but he won't actually deal with the after. You know.
And I don't think he's actually considering how. I don't think he's considering how this whole thing works. Okay, for example, it's not just based on your genes, buddy. So
That's true.
no matter how capable and and genetically superior that you think you may be, or whatever your reasoning for behind this,
Right.
if the woman you are conceiving a child with is just, no offense to the women because I hadn't seen them, I don't follow them. If they're just your typical dumb Instagram model, what do you truly expect of your kids? That they'll just take only your genes and none of theirs?
That's my
Apparently,
point. Yeah. And then my other thing is not knowing the way it's been orchestrated. Like, how compliant can he assume these women to be in 5 or 10 years from now? Like, whatever type of agreement they may have now, as the years pass by, how does he envision that running smoothly? Like,
I think his mentality is, if it's true as to why he's doing this, and he's very serious, there's no agenda behind it. then he probably don't see himself as being here to endure
Mm.
any changes to any deals that were made. But my thing is, I'm pretty sure they're going to be happy with the alimony or the settlement in the beginning. I'm pretty sure any women that agreed to this, it was financially motivated.
Well, duh.
That's what I was talking.
Yeah.
More,
Yeah.
more or less. Okay, hey, look, you have my baby. I'll make sure you're giving $5,000 a month, or however much, or I give you this much up front. Who knows? But I'm pretty sure it's financially motivated
It's
to get over their
basically
legs.
it's basically the 50 Cent syndrome. Remember that song? Have a baby by me, be a millionaire.
Oh my gosh, you have to bring that up.
That's what the song was. Have a baby by me and be a millionaire.
It's just so very simple. I think the whole analogy with the animals is pretty spot on. I mean, this is a very simple-minded move to make for a man that has the resources he has, like legacy or not. I just don't see how he can envision this being a healthy move. And like I was telling Travis, I don't really keep up with Nick Cannon like that, but you know, back in his earlier stage of his career, you didn't hear much about him, to my understanding. And then now it's like you waited to what, you're 40 to start this whole movement. It's like, yeah.
Midlife crisis.
I guess that's the male version of the Me Too movement.
Or a mid, or it could just be a midlife crisis sort of thing.
That's what I
Yes.
said.
That's what she had said at the beginning to call a podcast.
This situation kind of reminds me of Genghis Khan. Essentially, a horny old bastard at the age of 50 went on to do what he did, ripped a lot of women, and like what, 1 or 2% of the dark human
2% of
population.
Asian, yeah, 2% Chinese population it has his DNA in it.
Yeah, so that could be what Nick Cannon's doing.
I remember, there's 1.6 billion Chinese people, so that's a lot.
But please, Nick, spare us the idiocracy, man. Spare us the
Yeah,
idiocracy.
because he also said in the Breakfast Club that marriage is basically not for black people.
Yes.
It's racist. It is more for European and not for us. I'm like, what? If you go back in the Bible, there weren't European. There was Hebrews. There was Jews. Where are you getting this from?
But the thing is, even if he wants to be anti-marriage, there is a structure and a stability that comes with two people who are in some type of committed union and aiming or living in the same household, versus you putting your sperm in every other woman and you got to go visit house to house. How does he expect that to come out looking healthy and sound and become a legacy? Like, it's very ignorant outlook.
Sadly, he has the same opinion mindset as a lot of people do these days.
Oh man,
He's just emblematic of a symptom we have now.
I tell you what, to me, this is embarrassing. Now, as I said, I don't follow any celebrity. I don't follow them on any social media platform. I don't look them up. I don't research them. Nothing of the sort, because to me they're regular people, and I don't idolize no one more so than myself. Sorry, but to me, what makes you think that you are the best choice for this? Now, I know great things can come from small beginnings, but damn it, there's a limit.
Well,
There is a
wait, how do
limit.
you?
I'm sorry. I don't need to be running to your children, the future, talking about wilding out. I'm not ready for that, man. I'm not ready for that. And really, let's think about this. Let's really put this down on paper. Objectively, what is his legacy? I mean, from what you guys know, 'cause I'm pretty sure none of you know much of anything about him, because I'm not sure if you guys follow. I'm pretty sure you don't. But like myself, like, just from what you know about him and what you've heard, what is his legacy? Like,
The
for
last
example,
time,
I give you an example. I know what Jeff Bezos' legacy is. I know what Bill Gates' legacy is. I know what Jay-Z's legacy is, more or less. I know Tupac's legacy, and a number of other prominent people that really have made an impact.
yeah.
Right.
what is Nick Cannon's legacy that he did either on par or better than most people? Like really, most of the greats.
The only thing he had, well, no, but the only thing he has up that everybody knows about is Wild Out.
Yeah.
But this was I'm saying. Just there are
And
other
now
shows out
this.
there. I'm sorry,
And
but
now this.
I'm
I mean,
sorry, but that's not much of a legacy to
No.
me.
No. I don't associate him with being a person that's hugely iconic. So as far as the legacy and all that goes, yeah, that doesn't really fly too well for me. Again, I just keep going back to how ignorant and small-minded this whole concept is to want to build your legacy through this way. But
I mean,
yeah, it's gonna be entertaining the next couple of years.
no offense to the people that are fans of him, but to me, I think BlackBerry has a better legacy because people are still asking for BlackBerry to come back at the very
Really?
least. People are still they say they still prefer that OS over the newer stuff today. Just the way it operated. But like, come on now. I mean, Wilding Out. I mean, Love. Like I said, I like a lot of his movies. Love Don't Cost a Thing. Trust me. Drumline. Trust me.
Yeah.
But to me, none of those movies were quote unquote iconic.
Right.
Now, when I go back and watch those movies over and over again from time to time, of course, because they were good movies, they're fun.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm thinking if someone's asked me in just a idle conversation, hey, what movie you want to watch? Or who you think was an iconic black actor or black singer, black anyone? I can guarantee you, he's not even in the top 50. He's not there.
No.
And I don't know anyone that would put him in even the top 20. I don't know anyone that would. I'm being honest.
No, I got you. And like me and Lena was talking about this. Like we were saying, I told her this because that's part of the conversation that I have to put out with kids. Like, yes, he has money, and she brought it up earlier in the podcast. But the thing that came in is like I never heard. Again, this is just me. I'm not saying it's not an impossibility. It has. I could come up with one in a way, but that was true. That was true. That was a little girl from Ayana, which had disrespect. I'm talking about a girl who got taken from the what she said to the what she thought was her dad, what he said to her dad, which was messed up. She said, "You didn't even give me enough money to get weave." I was like, "That's crazy." Even though he was giving money, even though the mom was tricking him.
Well, this is Nick Cannon's legacy. Is that type of behavior?
Yeah, but here's the thing though. I've never heard. This is what I say, except for that example. But for real, on a real note, like I said, this is just anecdotal evidence. Every time I hear kids say about their fathers, I never hear them say, "Oh, you didn't give enough money for me." They always say, "You wasn't there for me," or "I didn't. You wasn't in my life." It wasn't about no domination money. It was always, "You wasn't there for me."
Yeah.
So, with him, it's just like you have these kids. You cannot set yourself to be out with these different Mariah Carey, whatever the other girl and the other three girls with their kids. Like that's just crazy.
But to me, and she mentioned this earlier, let's say P is around for another 20 years, right? 20, 30 years. I would so like to be a fly on the wall.
Yes.
When that conversation comes up, like when he has to explain why he decided to conceive them.
Right.
Oh, you're my legacy, son.
Or daughter.
Wait, but you got 4, 5, 6 other kids.
Right.
Well, they're my legacy too.
but here's the thing. But then they're gonna be animosity against the kids too, including the twins, which was legitimately
it's a whole breeding ground of dysfunction. I mean, I feel like there are polygamy arrangements that are more constructive.
Hell no!
I mean, you think about it.
He's right.
They have houses where they're beside. Like, how is he gonna physically? Think he's gonna parent effectively to these children? Like, it's just not.
You go before you guys say anything. Google this because this guy died this year. Google the guy who had the most kids and whatever in it was India or one of those countries. He had a lot of family, but you know what? All of them was still underneath his roof. Even though he had like 30 kids and all different women and all that stuff. Like you just said, the polygamy. That's crazy.
That is not ideal for me.
No, I got you.
At the situation, like you were saying earlier, Ken, with you don't know these women, you don't know what type of personality and values and standards they bring. Even each one is going to have a different way that they're parenting. So he's got to deal with the co-parenting of each and every one of these baby mamas. Mm-hmm. On top of the child themselves. Like it's people out here struggling to co-parent with one, failed relationship. And here he is going into these multiple situations. It's just self-destructive. Like I said, it's just
A lot of men do weird things when they reach 40.
Oh, so I would do a lot of weird things when I get 40?
You're already weird, so that's skip a sale.
Don't you speak that, man. Mine coming next year. You better shut up.
Well, hopefully your wife has the chain and handcuffs.
Nah, look, I'm telling you right now, man. The craziest thing I may ever do, period, with regard to manhood.
Buy a PlayStation 5?
No. walk around the house naked. That's pretty much as far as it's gonna go.
Oh boy. Well, I think you guys are safe then.
Oh my God. No, I got you. And then, like I said, it's just since they kind of turned on for me, I cracked the joke to the end. I was saying like, it's funny. Since they kind of put on that turban on his head, he's been going crazy, literally.
But here's something else, and this is something more visceral for people to think about. What he's really doing, in essence, and in the grand scheme of things, he's perpetuating already
stereotype,
like stereotype, but also a very, very big problem, especially
in the black community.
In the black community.
I agree.
This is not good. There's already a negative stigma about black men and
women,
children and the fathers, or basically young women not properly raising children due to a lack of a father figure.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You're perpetuating this, man.
Exactly.
And no matter how, that's what killed me, because I stated this in my mind to say, but people like said that there's systemic racism or generational poverty. Yeah, but here's the thing though, even though Nick Cannon is worth millions of dollars and is rich, don't get me wrong with all that stuff, the mentality still continues through that, because again,
he was raised by
a single mom. You would think not to do that, but he did. Exactly. But then the bad part about it as well too is like a lot of just like being that I'm an immigrant, I came from another country. A lot of immigrants that come to America, on average, the first generation, second generation does good. The third generation loses all the money, and that's like on average. It's not good. But they don't see the work that the grandparents did and all that stuff, and they just wither away the wealth that they got or the opportunities that they have. So I won't be surprised if some of these kids with what's going on, even though their moms is that or whatever, like Lena said, we don't know what the mom situation is. We don't know if she's gonna be a good mother, because some of these could be just looking at this for paycheck. Some of them might be selfish and one of the kids. Whatever it is, I can't speak on that.
Well, honestly, with how things are going with him and how he seems to be kind of in his own little world and caught up in his legacy and the money he has, I think his biggest problem would be if he has a baby mama that is there to parent and there to be on point with the children, and she won't structure. I think he has this idea that, okay, I'm paying you, so I'll drop in and out whenever I want to. What if he has the baby mama that's like, oh no, I have this set schedule, you need to come this certain time or what have you? Then it becomes an issue. Okay, I have to plan this out with all of y'all. Like, I can't just come and go when I want to come and go. Like, I don't understand how does he figure that out.
And let's not forget one thing already. I ain't over sure this. Even if, just be honest, even if he had money and everything, these kids, whatever, they're going to be like we said before, they're going to be a dynamic between the kids because two of those kids have a rich mom, which is Mariah Carey, and that's a legacy in itself. They're going to feel messed up.
Oh, yeah.
They're gonna feel the competition or feel.
And they're old enough to know that there was a time where I didn't have a cajillion other half siblings. So,
And then the thing about it
I'm more concerned about the emotional side when it comes to the twins, and here's why.
That's what I'm gonna say. That I was just gonna say that. Go ahead.
It's gonna come up in their lives at some point that they're gonna ask, why weren't we enough?
right,
So you mean to tell me you, Nick Cannon, you are established in more ways than one. You're not just a rapper. You're not just a show host. You're not just an actor. You do all these things. You're well established across the board. As one would say, you have multiple streams of income and you're multi-talented. That's actually really, really good.
Yep.
And my mother, your wife, was Mariah Carey, probably one of the most successful R&B legacy singers to date.
Yep.
Over 20 million albums.
Yep.
And still, of course, she's not like she was a prime, but I'm talking about one of the most iconic voices in the
Right.
game.
right.
Every Christmas.
Like honestly, if you put her up there, you can actually put her up there with some of the greats. The
Yeah,
greats
she
you
is.
really
Yeah,
hear
no,
about.
no. Yeah.
She
She's
makes the list.
As I said, she's on that list. And you mean to tell me that wasn't enough of a legacy for you?
Right.
And it's like I said, you brought up what I was gonna say because the kids were gonna say, "Wait, my mom is this person, and she wasn't enough for you, and you went with these other chicks."
Yeah.
And like my man Eddie Griffin said in one of his comedies, forgive the language. You don't fuck down, you fuck up.
Yep. Yep.
You went from Mariah Carey, which of course I know she's older,
And
but
she's
still,
a little crazy, but
this is. I'm not saying you give a pass just because of her legacy. But
No.
dude, it don't halt the fact that this is Mariah Carey.
right.
There are plenty of guys that would like to remotely even kiss between her legs. Okay, you had that, and you, for whatever reason, that didn't work out. I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm not saying it's hers. I don't know. I didn't read about it. I researched it. But still, you went from that to internet Instagram models.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying that you can't find a girl with a wonderful personality in a down to earth place. Typically, that's where you do find it. However,
It's very hard to do so.
yeah. However, I don't think this is the case.
Right.
Me personally, I don't know these women, so I can't say for sure. But typically, when you run across Instagram models, most models in general tend to be a little shallow.
That's stupid.
you see what? You don't hold nothing back, don't you, Anderson?
I was being nice, okay, but that's why I said most. I didn't say all, because I understand that there are some out there.
Yeah.
The thing.
I don't think Megan Fox is one of them, but
That's for sure.
just saying, I
Well, even with that,
I don't get it. I just don't
even
get
with
it.
that assumption, and I think you're right. I think we're all still scratching our head as to not how they're in this situation, but like you said, why he decided to get in this situation, because this was a calculated move. Like, for them, doesn't sound very good, but they're like, okay, well, this is a lucrative offer. I'll go along with it. But for him, like, this was your thinking. Why? Like, why would you think that this is gonna enhance or build your legacy? If anything, I think it's gonna make a joke of whatever legacy he has. But yeah,
You mean a bigger one?
And if everything is motivated by money, at least on their side, whether they asked for it or he offered it, ask yourself this, man: has money really solved any issues, especially emotional, when it comes to people?
No.
Nope.
And that's why I said that. That's why I literally said that. I never heard a kid say, "Oh, you didn't give me my mom enough money."
right.
Never heard that.
Now, I'm not saying money can't help in
Well,
hard
yeah,
times
yes.
or make things more convenient, but let's be honest, it doesn't solve issues.
No.
It really don't. Keyword issues. Now, I'm not talking about you can't pay your bill. That, to me, that's just a problem. when you have issues are deeply rooted, and
Right.
typically they're emotional.
Absolutely.
Money don't solve those issues.
Not at all. As we
It-
Well, put it this way: if all you're getting is just like some checks in the mail, but you never actually see your father in person and bond with him, then what good do you do? Eventually, you see him as just a source of money, and not really,
You know what?
daddy.
You know what? I can give a good example. I can give a good example of that.
I know what you're gonna say.
You know what I'm saying, right? Okay, I can get a great example of that.
37 years old, living
38.
in your rental car.
38.
Oh.
Look at Dr. Dre's oldest daughter. A lot of
Go on
people. But look at Dr. Dre's oldest daughter. And again, everybody's like, oh, he's a billionaire. He could do this. Whatever. You know what people keep on forgetting? And this is what she said. It's not what he said. He's been quiet about this. She was getting paid all the way up until 18 months ago. Where was she doing with the money? She never seen Dr. Dre since she was 5 years old. But she was getting paid by him until 18 months ago. So where was the money? Why you're broke with 4 kids living out of your car, and the car is not even yours. You're renting the car.
And the irony when you put those two examples beside each other, here you is Dr. Dre makes the list. Like, this is a legendary person.
Yes.
And no, of course, I don't think he went about having the father and children like Nick Cannon has, but this is a lesson to learn. Like, you have had children that you may have not been in the lives of, and you see now at 38, here she is trying to go to the media. Like I said before, even if there was issues between them, that shows how unhealthy it is on her side to go to the media and explain that you're mad because your father isn't giving you any more money. You're 38 years old. Like, there's a lot of.
Well, the thing that came about is that you talked out at your father. That's why he literally said he cut off the money.
Right.
Because you talked about him. He's like, oh, really? Oh, and you're 38 years old.
And then people, let me also take it even back to a simpler example. Lawrence Fishburne's daughter.
Yes.
Now you would think that a child of a celebrity, since they got access to money, or at least the parents are more than capable of taking care of them, that it shouldn't be that. Of course, if you got money, it shouldn't be too many serious issues, right? Wrong. How many of you guys know that Lawrence Fishburne's daughter, an A-list actor's daughter, she had a dream of being a porn star.
She had a dream. She did. She is a porn star.
No, I know, but she just all of a sudden, like, she decided to do pornography with one of the known actors. I think his name was Brian Pumper.
Yeah.
Yeah, but keep in mind, she's not a model. She was not anyone that would make the top 10 on, a list of women if you saw them on the stage or whatever. But guess what? This is a dad whose daughter he raised, and she decided to do porn.
Yeah.
Now, keep in mind, her father is iconic.
Right.
Mhm.
Household.
I say as far as black male actors, the only one that's pretty much probably above him is Denzel.
Oh, Will
Right.
Smith.
Oh yeah, but seriously.
Oh, do you really want to bring up Will Smith? And
Stop.
But
He still has a legacy. Will Smith still has a legacy with his
But still,
Prince
top-
music and everything. Go ahead.
Top 5
Black male
black male
actors. Yeah.
actors.
Yeah.
And you mean to tell me his daughter decided, I want to fuck for a living? Excuse me, what? I did my best as a dad.
Ain't that what Chris Rock said? I don't care what anybody says. At least I keep my daughter off the pole. I see those super shoes. Get them out of here. Get them out of here. They're
If
post
I,
shoes.
had, if I had to play devil's advocate, and I don't know anything about this, I didn't even know that's what her lifestyle was about. To know what she has set up with to have him as a father, that was totally I'm about to embarrass you. This is my rebellious act. Like you said, she had no reason, no logical reason to do that. So why would you do that? But yeah.
It was bad. I said, wow. I couldn't believe it. Like, Lawrence Fishburne's daughter, but why?
Yeah.
I hadn't heard anything bad about him. At least not the stuff you hear about other people.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But that shows you that even when you have parented a child that's the cost of being a celebrity, that you still can't control what your children do, and it can turn around and have a negative or positive effect on you. So when you look at somebody like Nick Cannon, who is literally out here just spreading himself around, how does he think that's gonna look when
And here's a cake topper right here about Lawrence Fishburne and his daughter. Guess what she said her reasoning behind all this was? Guess who her idol was?
Oh
That I don't know. That one I don't know.
ask.
Kim Kardashian.
Oh, well.
No.
She actually said in the interview that
boy.
she got rich by doing a sex tape. So I'm gonna do one. Those are her exact words. But I'm thinking, hold on. First, now, you mean to tell me that because something worked out with someone else,
Right.
you decided that exact thing will work out for you? But here's the difference. Their sex tape was labeled as being leaked. Leaked implies it wasn't supposed to be public, but somehow was made public. You literally announced to the public, I'm going into porn. That's not interesting.
No.
Yes, yeah.
And mind you, there's like, she's the daughter of Lawrence Fishburne. If she wanted to make something out of herself, there are a cajillion different resources she has available to her other than making a porn video.
Yeah.
Well, that right there set us back about a good 30 years.
Not us.
I said, what the
Not
hell?
us. I always let me. I didn't put the disclaimer out there. I don't speak for black people. Black people don't speak for me.
There it is.
And I'm the only one who's not black in this cast. So I'm sorry I tell you on my back.
I'm not black. I'm clear. So I represent all races.
You're mannequin, whatever.
Well, I think we got it all covered then.
I got you. I want to just hit a little bit of the chat. You want to see me looking? I'm using my phone this time, so looking at the screen to say what we got. So, so you guys, True Tipper FM, of course, thank you all for watching. We have about 5.6K. Thank you for watching in there, and let's go. Let's get to this. Sylvia Wonder from France. A two-parent home is a huge boost to a child's self-esteem. Also with married, hold up, because again, sometimes people's things, don't get me wrong. Also married and dating that person first to see what their morals, their goals, and personalities they have. This ensures the biological effects that will choose you the best mate and to reproduce in a secure and successful childhood legacy. That's true.
Yeah, that was a very logical response.
There's a caveat though. A lot of women only just see if they got money or look like they got money, and a lot of men just look if they got a nice,
Okay, I got you. JJ Austin from the UK. Nick just doesn't want the responsibility of a full-time father and husband.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Because he could have did this a whole other way if he was trying to build a legacy. Like yeah.
Got you.
He could have. I mean, he does have enough status where he, like you said, he didn't have to go down to this status. He could have got with another celebrity, and
or make his own brand.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. Wild Out is not nothing to really. I mean, that's where he is, but that's not nothing to. On MTV, nah, it's just not. Not. I mean, Beavis and Butthead got more legacy on MTV than that.
Ooh, that hurt my soul. I miss him.
Got you.
Those two are smarter than my whole generation.
Okay. Gabriel Bennett from UK. They start getting super woke to the point they become idiots. Or the word puts in, professing themselves to be wise, they become fools. Romans 1, verse 22.
Amen. Marriage is racist. I mean, I don't have a response to that.
Well, hell, didn't you hear? Some university got rid of a boulder because somehow it was racist.
Yep, I'm gonna tell you that the boulder Then they got rid of it because the boiler. Basically, because back in night, I said it in the show last night. For those who whatever, check out the show Project Open Mic. You see the stuff downstairs. You want to get a backlist for the 3 Tip FM. It's gonna be up for like about a month before they take it off. If you want to catch the past shows, but yes, in Oregon or whatever, there was a boulder that was given to a professor who became the deacon. I'm just getting full story. Deacon became the dean. Sorry, it's not the deacon, dean of the college, and he was a geologist. And it was a darker rock. But it's a boulder. It was 77-ton rock. It's heavy as hell.
Right.
And back in 1920, which you gotta know the era. One of my things I hate is presentism. When people think that they could do things now, back then you can't. There's so many. You've heard this. Everyone heard this. With black people, some black people like, oh man, I'll whip Master Butt if I was back in them times. I'm like, no, you won't. You'd have been crying just like everybody else when it would. Cause you would have been just in there for that. But then, because back then in 1920, KKK people went on the campus, called that an N-head rock. Okay, they called it that. It was never called that. It was basically a memorial to the guy. After that, that's it. Never heard nothing else all the way from the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, nothing. But because people went back in time and saw that, which you know a lot of Twitter people, that's why I'm not on Twitter. That's a cesspool. That's a cesspool. But they went back in time. Some black kids said this is hurting their fifis. I'll be nice. The other words, but they're hurting fifis. Now with that the school is representing this on top of the campus. Here's the dumb part: the school moved it to another part of the school, so it's still on the school campus. But you took their money to lift up that big old boulder just to move because of that infinitesimal reason. Ain't like the boulder rolled down the hill and killed some black people. Like, okay, that's a racist boulder. Like, look at that. It dodged all the white people and went for the black people. Dang it. I can see that. But, gee Louise, man. That is crazy.
I actually had a small example of people being sensitive and entitled, similar to that. So,
It's called gaming.
One of my previous jobs, probably I'll say about maybe 10 to 12 years ago. It was Christmas time, whatever. So they put this big Christmas tree up in the office, right? And keep in mind, the office is only about 100 people. I guess somebody there didn't like the fact that Santa Claus was on top of the tree. It's one person. So I guess they complained to management, and then management changed the Santa Claus to a star. Now, I'm not affected either way. I don't care what's what. But I'm thinking you decided to basically ruin something for 99 other people because of your preference.
That's the motivation always.
But what if we prefer Santa Claus over the star? That's not allowed. That's not okay. But the minority person, oh, I don't like that, or that's against my religion, or I don't believe that, so you got to take it down. I'm thinking that this is it. I wasn't fit that way, but I just thought, I said, that's bullshit to me. That's bullshit.
But you know what's funny thing about it is you try to be all inclusive and you basically become it don't work. It doesn't work.
The more inclusive you try to be, the more exclusive you are.
Yeah. And then going with what you just said. They can't go with what happened to IKEA in Atlanta. They asked what they want. They said, okay, we have a lot doing this for Juneteenth. It's a black holiday, as people proclaim and everything. It's a black holiday. So they said, we're gonna do this. So they asked people, hey, what do you want to eat? And I still don't get it because I think it's stupid. They said, hey, they got some fried chicken, some macaroni, some collard greens, whatever. And they said, oh. And it said it's Mexican, American. So he said, But, of course, few black people are like, oh, that's racist. How about you just eat the food? And if you don't like it, don't eat the food. Huh? Or bring your quinoa and kale in. Eat that, shut the hell up.
I got a better idea. Give the chicken to me. I'll give you my address.
You know what's so funny about that? Okay, I've never heard, let's say, a person of European descent walk into, let's say, a Subway and say, it's offensive for you to serve pizza.
I mean, Italians, no.
I've never seen that happen. Just like I've never seen an American person walk into an Italian restaurant and say, "Wait, it's racist for you to sell burgers here. That's an American dish." No,
No.
no.
But there are people who went to Mexico, learned the cuisine, learned from good chef, came back to America, shut up a restaurant, and you got people going there and say, "Yo, preparation culture, shut them down." They have that.
Go to an Asian place where I live. The cooks more often than not are Mexican,
Mexicans.
not Asian.
Yes, we know. I mean, I know that most buffets are that. Most Chinese buffets are Mexicans cooking the food.
Then again, it's not really Chinese. It's American Chinese, but whatever.
I know you said, but it's mostly Mexican cooking the food. Unless it's one way you could see if you could really see the foods done like that, whatever, then yeah. Heck, that guy when we went to the restaurant, who was cooking the food? That guy was Mexican.
Was he at Conky?
Yes. You're smart. You try to be smart.
I didn't know. I genuinely.
You see how he talk? That is not Asian. That is not Asian dialect. Come on. Come on.
I thought it was just American. Like he just didn't have.
Well, yes, but the accent was heavy Hispanic.
Don't ruin my experience. Let me just say he was.
Oh my God. Okay. Sorry. Let me see here. Let's try to get a couple more before we get out of here. Kenya. Go ahead.
So before you do, I've been saying about this. If he's offering all these hoes millions, and how many has he made that proposition to? How is he gonna have any money left at the end of it? At the end of his starting a legacy?
I don't know. That's not me to worry about. The reason I brought up this topic, right, to be 100% before I go back into the comments and then we can finish the show. The reason I got into this comic is because I was seeing a diverse effect. Two things. One, where women was calling out the hypocrisy of certain men, and I get that, and I'm not gonna knock that for what they were saying about we do this for women while we don't call it for men. That's one. Two was I saw a lot of guys looking up to the camera and say, "Oh man, that's awesome! I want to do that." They say, "No, that's a bad idea. That's a bad idea, including if you're broke. That's a horrible idea. That's the last thing you want to do." He ain't gonna go to jail. You will go to jail if you miss a payment, though.
Well, ideally, I think if any minded person was to look at this and want to aim to be that way, it's not your average middle class person. It's someone of a pretty
lower mindset.
Right.
But I'm trying to say this is not something. Still, it's a lower mindset. Just like you ain't seen it, but I told you about it. But I'm gonna do a video about it about these girls who was at a restaurant, and this is the third time. There was one in Texas, and Ken, you know about the one in Texas where the black guy came out and said, "Look, I try to make this restaurant for my black people, and you try to do this. I told you 3 times. If you don't like it, get the F out." Remember that one back early this year? Well, just recently, there was another set of girls in a restaurant. I think it was a Hispanic restaurant, whatever. And they're doing that, and they were just on there twerking on top of tables and everything. And you could see the camera, like there's white people having there's a video of a white woman like doing this, and they're like showing them like, "Oh my God, Becky, can you believe what they're doing?"
Everybody's having a crisis. It ain't just me. They might
No. I'm just saying, but that right there, who taught those people? It's just like the video, and you saw that video about the little girl, not little girl, but the young lady who was talking about drug dealers and thugs are more sick, more better. I'm like more excited, and I'm like, who teach these girls this nonsense?
But
the mamas, schools, the media.
But to Anderson's point earlier as to how he's going to keep this money, we all know how most of these women work. Most women, especially when it comes to the male celebrity culture, most women will freely have sex with a male celebrity without being offered a damn thing. Most women out there go to concerts hoping they get a chance to have sex with this guy, if only to have sex with them. Period. I'm pretty sure more than a few of these women that he's had sex with, They done it for free. Now, and they're thinking to themselves, I got a child by him. But trust me, I'm almost certain at least one or two of them, there was no money arrangement discussed prior to. They were more than willing.
Groupies.
That they were
Yeah.
more than willing to open their
Groupies or
legs
herpes.
and have sex with him, and they don't give a damn about the outcome. But the outcome
Right.
as a kid, to them, they're their ticket into the good life.
Yeah.
And that's a very valid point. I could see that, and to that I say those type of women 5 or 10 years from now are probably going to be the most explosive when the veil really comes off and they just see I literally just gave it up for what nothing. That's when the reality shows come out, and then they got to figure out how they're gonna pay for that next Gucci bag or whatever that he's when the money's run out.
True.
So
True.
yeah,
Plus, most of them wind up fat.
Now you see how you see I'm harsh. He's okay then. Okay then.
but I think that's the least of their problems at this point.
Got you. Got you.
And then 10 years from now, the narrative is going to change. It's going to go from I had this baby to he forced himself on me.
That could be
That's
yeah.
what dealing.
Yeah.
That's dragging me too.
That could be it.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
could be
yeah,
it.
and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep, that's true.
When the money dries up, all of a sudden, consensual sex turns to rape.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the questions come out, where were you 10 years ago? I was afraid. No, you weren't afraid. You had been paid.
Oh.
And since the implied alimony checks you're not getting anymore, and you don't have any hard contract to keep them coming, now you're pissed off and you're trying to force more money out of someone. Well, you better hope you sit around, and that's why some people were going after Michael Jackson's estate way after the fact.
Yeah.
Like, wait, the man's dead. Now you're going after his estate? Damn.
Yeah.
The man can't rest in peace because of money.
Right.
Yep.
Now, as long as he has loose change in his pockets, they're gonna dig up the coffin.
But yeah, it's a damn good certainty that the consensual woman today in 10 years
The
is going to
accuser
say
tomorrow.
he forced himself on me, or he drugged me, or we were out and I didn't know what he was trying to do. I end up being pregnant. It wasn't planned, and he either gotta settle out of court or have the judge drop the ban hammer on his ass, and basically you got to pay up.
Maybe
Well,
that's
Doc,
what
and don't forget, it's not. Don't forget, it's not just trials in the courtroom. It's also being tried and hung by the media.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's definitely true.
Yeah. Wait, hold on for a
I
second.
would say maybe that's why he posts all of the pregnancy photos. Everybody keeps saying, well, at least he shows up to the pregnancy photos because he's put a public like Instagram post with him and the baby mama of the week rubbing her
Basically.
belly
Basically.
and all of that. Maybe that's part of his backup plan to what you were saying, Ken, about, well, no, see, this was all good. We were good and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I totally agree because again, people can change their minds. Sorry.
The whole thing's messy.
Yeah. Let me get some more comments before we call it because like I said, I'll be getting hit in the emails. You don't read a lot of chats. I got you. Sorry. Sorry. So, Kenya Poloko from Poland. The sickening part is in his mind when he went straight to ownership. Nothing about marriage is about ownership of the other person. His mind is so screwed up. John Riggs from UK. By default, raising successful children in a stable two-parent household is an basically eccentric concept. Thank you, Nick Cannon. That's a compliment.
Like I said, sadly, that's the mindset of today now. Why do that when you can't sleep around? The children will have the schools and the state take care of it. It's all about YOLO, living in the now. Don't get tied down by anything.
That's Brooke Daniels from there you go. And that got shout out for people in New York. This is the mindset that leaves a lot of single mothers struggling and children without their fathers. Nick Cannon may have plenty of money to throw at those kids. But that's not the father figure or a good example for the average person who can't afford that. Again, I'm
Don't
happy
forget,
now. Go ahead, go ahead, go
don't
ahead.
hey, don't forget the woman who willingly let him inside. They're at fault too.
Yeah, it's basically a cluster. I always think how the chat is so Toast Shinland from Germany. He's so proud of himself of making up a new word. Doesn't know what he means by doesn't mean by but he sounds good. That's the difficulty of becoming woke. And I think you're right, take by about well, since he has put on that turban on his head, he has gone mentally crazy. I think since he has done that, that's what it is.
I guess he thinks he's a genie now, making the baby magic. Sim sim sally beam.
Oh no,
That
Lord
is a
have
very
mercy.
self-serving move.
Oh my goodness, that's funny, Anderson.
Better than that Michael Jordan movie. What was it? Shazam.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Ooh-wee.
Well, Lou, I guess I'm sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. I always say, cause you have a thing over it. Udain from Egypt. The most charismatic thing about the regressive is that it's intentionally intentionally devolves humans. The nuclear family is a social evolution that has advanced us and helped us to maintain function in society. Cultural appropriation and colonization has launched the human race out of the barbarian and tribalism societies, like you said, Tig, before, that tribalism is the core of all certain evilities. By being able to learn from more advanced societies, it is not pretty for a few things in history, which is true.
Mhm.
Our history is not the history of humans is not all great. They got good and they have bad. That's why I say evil, blah blah blah. Like I said, you want to hear the end of the show, but it's that. But
History is weird.
yes, but we can't do nothing about it. But people like to want to go back in the history to change things or whatever. Again, look, there are things in history that makes you just like wow, and it makes you stop and guess whatever. Like you think the best example I'll get. The Wright brothers. Orville lived longer than his other brother. He didn't feel good that he found out. Wait, I created this thing in 1909. Excuse me, in 1909, and then World War One is dropping and killing hundreds of millions of people. He didn't like that.
Well, something else people need to realize also, history is told typically it's falsely told and rewritten.
Yes.
And
It's either written by the winners or it's a lie agreed upon.
and exactly. And so, for example, the one holiday, man-made holiday that you guys love to celebrate every year, if you really do a simple Google search as to the origins of Valentine's Day, it will freak you the hell out.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, if you really look at where it originated from, it's like, wait, what? The complete damn opposite of what you're celebrating.
Right.
The complete opposite.
Mhm.
Now, I'm not
Are we
saying that's why
talking-
you're celebrating it. I'm simply saying that
The origins.
if you look
Well,
at origins,
I mean, look at what's going on. Well, look at the fairy. If you go back into the fairy tales, like the original fairy tales, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Oh, it's a dark story.
Yeah.
It is a very, very dark story from the Grimm brothers from back in Germany. It was a very dark story. But
Oh, a lot of those Disney classics, the original source, it's like, whoa, should I even know my kids?
Oh yeah,
no,
Little Mermaid. Oh my goodness.
same thing. The original Mermaid. Oh man,
The original Little Mermaid is very dystopian and very.
Oh, I don't know the original Mermaid. I'll stick with the Disney.
Yes, stick with the
I'll
Disney.
stay in the dark.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ariel was-
And then look, and then look.
That's right. Go ahead. Believe the lie. Believe the lie.
Believe the lie.
But even that. Look at Robin Hood.
But yeah.
Everybody always get that story wrong. Oh, he stole from the rich, give to the poor. No, he did not. He
The
stole from
corrupt.
the corrupt and give to the just. But people always think, oh, that's why you have my what is it? I don't even think I got it right.
Use it.
Nope, that's not it. Well, John.
Taxes! Beautiful, lovely.
King John.
Taxes!
Thanks for taking my money.
That's what taxes. King John was giving unfair taxes to the people, and also the wealthy people was taking money from the paupers, and Robin Hood was taking it back and giving it to the. But people think it's all from the rich, give it to the poor, because it's so simple. And then we get into this not tonight, but many times about how in Oregon they signed a bill to get rid of reading, math, and reading, writing, and math to graduate high school, which is, oh boy, they're making stupid kids. They're literally making stupid kids.
Yeah, well, I've said this many times, and I say it often. The powers that be, the ones really in control of things, that's what they want, a very docile and stupid society. That's what they really want.
Yeah.
They kind of got it.
And to me, the biggest example of that, I'm not sure if you guys have seen this movie, but the recent Dukes of Hazzard movie with Sean William Scott, when basically that guy's whole plan was to host a city council meeting while everyone else was basically distracted with the annual race derby that was going on, and no one will be at the council meeting to vote against turning their whole downtown into a coal mine.
Yeah.
But it really is that simple. They know public is easy manipulated. Make them look over here while we go over here. And that's why you look up one day, you're like, why the hell am I paying taxes for this now? Because you didn't vote for this shit when it really mattered.
Yeah. Well, but don't even go that. Sorry, Anderson, go ahead.
Speaking of which, people beware, they're pushing a fun tax where they can now. It happened in Arizona and it happened somewhere else.
Illinois.
Yeah.
What tax? You say fun?
Fun tax. Yeah. Remember we talked about this on the gaming channel, where if you buy video games or certain attractions and movies and stuff like that, they got a tax for that.
Yeah, they pushed it in Arizona, but no one actually got to vote on it. It was just pushed with no consent.
So you want to do that? Well, going to Brazil, that's where a lot of the video games over there is like the same way too. That's why it's taxed, because the politician said it is a sin and having indulgence in the sin, and I get that, but it made it into a tax, so they've taxed people for that. Indulging in your sin is the same, because Brazil is very Catholic.
Okay.
So the politicians know how to manipulate.
Lot of irony with that.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, that's just how that works out. And then let's not even talk about
a lot of stuff attached.
Well, let's not even talk. I want to give an example. I talked to you about last night, but just quick example. Remember, our president, good or bad against the last president, I don't care about that. I'm just telling the truth. This is just straight up truth. I've said before, I don't have to lie on a person to tell the truth. I don't. Okay, I don't. If I don't like you, I don't have to lie on you just to make sure that you know what it is. So the last president, in 75 years, we were energy independent for the first time in 75 years. Joe Biden got in, first day, cut off the Keystone Pipeline, said, okay, we're going to get rid of oil by 2030. We ain't going to worry about this, blah, blah, blah. But this week, he cut it off, so that's why gas prices went up. But he literally went this week onto OPEC and tell OPEC to pump more gas so we could have more energy in America. You had the energy yourself. You was independent, and you went back, and now you're back groveling to the Arabs. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. That's crazy. That is literally crazy.
Well, maybe he thought that in the long run it's gonna work out for us.
Huh?
Maybe he thinks in the long run it's gonna work out better for us.
Ow.
I don't know. What if you go back? It's like you said, Doc. If you go back to the history of in 2000 in the 80s, where the gas price problem was, if you go back and read the history of how that really happened, that wasn't because we use a lot of gas or whatever. The Arabs wanted to destroy the rest of America, so they literally cut back the oil process to get to America. I was like, yeah. I mean, literally, you got people pushing cars, all kind of like. I mean, we were kids, so we didn't. Well, I mean, we were really born, but me and Doc were kids and stuff like that. And just how that is, just so that's just bad, man. It's just really bad. Let me get a couple more chat before we go on. We got up to about 7.1K. That's good. Thank you again up there. Again, as usual, as I said, I know you guys like to look on Radio T3 and Tempo FM. Thank you. Including we're getting follows on Twitch now, which is also good. I'm happy for the follows we gain on Twitch. Keep subscribing, keep doing it. But if you guys can go to YouTube and just click the subscribe, you don't gotta watch it. As Anderson always say, just click and watch it there. Down where you always want to watch it. I don't even need to subscribe. I just need the viewership up because that's how YouTube algorithm work, really. But again, you could thumbs up, thumbs down. I don't really bother me, but just letting you know. Anyway, let's see. Andy Cotton from France. The most valuable lesson my single mother taught me when I was not to become a single mother. My husband and I had so many problems after our first son was born. We were not. Oh wow, she wrote a whole freaking thing. So I'll read it.
Try to abridge it.
Nah, I'll read it. If you're gonna type it out, I might get something good out of it. Cause remember the story we did with the guy who killed his other brother, and we had read through it, and we found out, oh, that's messed up. How that worked out. But anyway, my husband and I had so many problems after our first son was born. We were not expecting to become parents, but when I got pregnant, we stayed together. We fought and battled, and there were many times I wanted to leave. But I remember back to my childhood. I would have never done what to my children what I have been done in the past. And if I could avoid it at best, I will. Marriage is hard. And maybe you will think maybe you think the person you end up having kids with is the one. But life isn't a fairy tale. You grow, love, it starts with mutual respect. Okay? If you're not prepared to make the lifetime commitment to someone, don't lay down with them. All these women and men who break up their families because they didn't feel fulfilled or don't think they're in some goofy Hollywood love story. Therefore, they need to keep on. Only end up hurting themselves and their kids. Teach them that you can just cut and run away, and to be not responsible is not the best way to raise these kids because they grow up with resentment. Kids remember and always feel the irresponsibility of their parents.
Well said.
Amen.
Good on you, girl. You know what? And I'll keep it at that. I think I'll end it with that. Again, I got many more, but I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. And thank you all for that, of course. So, yes, it's not just the Nick Cannon. We were just talking. We also, I like doing the side chat like this because we talk about the overall reaching of things around it as well too. You know, that's how that works out. So it just. Nick Cannon could do what he want to do. I really don't care to that degree, but I don't like the perpetuation and I don't like how to see. Because also, too, a lot of media like to use this to push certain genders as well, which I don't like either. So a lot of the hip hop black people, oh yes, this is not good, just not good. All right, I'm telling you, young boys, young girls, be careful what you're doing. Young men, wrap it up. Ladies, be careful who you sleep with. Vent these young guys out. Seriously, talk, have communication, have the foundation. Because man, if you don't, it's gonna. As Chris Rock said, he said it the best. People said life is short. No, life is long if you choose the wrong person. Life is really long if you choose the wrong person. So don't do that. Okay? Please. So again, thank you, Tempo FM. Thank you, Twitch, Radio T3, Facebook, YouTube. Thank you guys out there. Give me a second here before I in that regard. Oops,
and thank you, Nick Cannon.
Exactly. Thank you, Nick Cannon. Thank you, Nick Cannon. But before we head out as usual, I'll let the ladies go. I'll let the lady go first. Give me a second. Let me put back up on screen. Okay. Your first time. How you feel?
I feel good. Like
You could have worded that better.
Oh my gosh. I
Okay,
know.
stop putting your mind.
Everything that we've talked about, I feel good. I need to elaborate a little more. I was kind of nervous at first. I was like, oh, I'm going to be on this live show. But then at some point, just like I was just talking to you and it just expounded to talking to your buddies.
Okay.
Yeah, he ain't nobody special.
Yes, I'm nobody special. Okay, since you spoke up, what about you, Doc? What's your final thoughts?
You know me, man, like the old BT commercial. Wrap it up. No, but look, at the end of the day, people understand that there's more to having a child than just a legacy. Okay, it's more than a notion. It may seem you can say out loud that I'm going to be a good parent. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. My child's not going to do this. It's more than a notion. I'm saying this first. I don't have kids, but I can tell you, I have done as much as I can to prepare myself mentally that it won't be easy.
Yes.
It won't be easy. I'm going into it knowing it will not be easy. I don't know what the hell's coming, but it won't be easy.
A lot of sleepless nights.
I deal with that already.
And baby changing.
I ain't gonna deal with all that. You know?
Yeah, no, I don't say that. But I know where your mic could go. What about you, Mr. Anderson? What about you?
I wish for a time when a woman had enough sense to not just spread them to what they think was the highest quality. That's about it.
Okay. Pointed it. All right. Well, for me again, guys, like I said, it's more to raise a like Andy said. It's more than just having these kids or whatever. Like Doc said, the legacy, and also like marriage. Like I said, it's hard. Which Doc, me, you have to have a conversation with your wife about marriage and stuff like that. I think we need to have that conversation on a side chat. You know, but it's. This right here is just what society has been put to us now and just push a lot of stuff in our faces. And again, a lot of black people really don't follow what people see on the TV, but because the news media and the media also put it at this is what they want and this is what we see from the other end, the people in the middle are left out, which is a lot of people. Which is a lot of people that don't subscribe to a lot of this nonsense.
Yeah, including us right here, right now on this chat.
Yeah. So that's just how that works out. But again, I just want to bring up the Nick Cannon thing because again, it's not cool what he's doing. He could do what he wants. I don't, like I said, his headache, his lifestyle, whatever. But it's just something that I'm gonna call out because if somebody was doing, like I said, ladies, like if I'm gonna call out the Cardi B's and all that stuff, I'm gonna call out the Nick Cannon and the Future, which I think he also is a jerk. So I call it as I'm an equal opportunity offender. I'll call people out for what it is. So remember, there's out there people, please. Evil comes in all shapes, size, color, creed, height, sex, gender, occupation. Evil's evil. And of course for me, remember, people are stupid, individuals smart. Please be that smart individual. And protect yourself, be careful. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of this weekend. And again, if there's a storm coming up through Florida and all that stuff, you guys prepare yourself. Be cool out with that because the storm don't look strong, but stuff like this could cause tornadoes and stuff like that. So be careful, be prepared. And again, for my people in the Caribbean, you know how I see about that too. Same thing as well, be prepared. Other than that, have a good night. Safe for your family. And also, last thing I would say, protect your, think about yourself, then your family, then your neighbors, then your community. Do that and you'll be all right. All right. This is Take from Project Over Mike. Side chat. Peace out.
And spread the love.
Oh man, it's got a herpes in it.
Oh.
Good grief.